Welcome to the Dirty Lazy Girl podcast. I'm Stephanie Laska, best-selling author and creator of Dirty Lazy KETO.
And I'm Tamara Snezik, professor of sociology. We believe there are many paths, often unconventional, to achieve your goals. But we get stuck thinking we have to follow experts and fixed set of rules.
Well, as the leader of the Dirty Lazy KETO Facebook support group with over 200,000 members, I see people are hungry for a fresh approach, not just for weight loss, but to help live their very best life. Season 2 of the Dirty Lazy Girl podcast will provide lifestyle advice, lots of fun support, and practical tips to help you at home. Because you know what? You don't have to be perfect to be successful. Join us.
When I got married and started having kids, Stephanie, it seemed like nothing was my own after that. I mean, my time wasn't my own. I couldn't even shower or take a phone call without it being interrupted. And my house wasn't my own. I was stepping on Legos and toys and pet hair everywhere. And even my body wasn't my own. I mean, I was breastfeeding constantly. And even that didn't feel like, I even owned that. And so this isn't good because you do that for a prolonged period and it really just erases you as a human being. And so now I'm finally reclaiming my body and my time and my home, especially after our last episode where we talked about claiming spaces in the house. And you know what, Stephanie? It feels amazing. And I'm feeling like I matter again. It's time, Stephanie, for us to claim our spaces.
Ahoy! I like that. You sound like a pirate or a claims person in the Wild West, like staking your claim. Well, yeehaw, right? Well, I totally agree with you, Tamara. For me, this podcast is just life-changing. Whenever we start talking about an issue, I think I just start working on it, even subconsciously in that area. I think about it. You know what I mean? Like even when I'm not thinking about it. But since our last episode, I realized, Tamara, I would be so much happier if I stopped complaining about sharing my office and just did something about it. So it took a lot of finagling, a lot of negotiation with family, but I really did succeed. And I commandeered a little tiny office space in my home for myself and Dirty Lazy KETO. So yeah, I know, right? And so in the spirit of thank you, and in the spirit of today's topic, I realized I really did need to work on customizing the space. I needed to remove every single thing from that room. And I just need some help about how to make more deliberate choices about how, what to put inside. Because like you said, I haven't had any space since I've been in high school. That's my own. And I want to do this right. I want to stake my claim and customize my space with your help.
Absolutely. So listeners, we are hoping that you were able to carve out some space, but today we're going to talk about what to do with that space once you carve it out. Like, how do we make it our own? So we're going to help you make your space into the next level with 5 fast and cheap tips to make the space your own. But first, let's take a quick break.
Well, today's episode is sponsored by my new book, which is out in the world, Dirty Lazy KETO, Get Started Losing Weight While Breaking All the Rules. It's the full support guide for anyone looking to start the keto diet or to boost their motivation to stay on track. It's available in paperback, ebook, and audiobook, worldwide, online, or inside of stores. You can actually walk into Walmart, Barnes & Noble, BJ's, and Myers and find it on the shelf.
Awesome. Thanks, Stephanie.
And Tamara, I could hear you taking a sip just then. I was trying not to laugh.
Okay, well, we'll try to edit that.
No, I want you to keep it. That was funny.
I was trying to be so...
I could totally hear you. Mm-hmm.
You're like,
Hey, you don't have to be perfect to be successful. That's our motto. Don't you edit that out. That made me laugh.
Okay. Okay, so let's get started. How do we make a space our own?
Well, it doesn't have to cost an arm and a leg, does it?
No, it does not have to cost an arm and a leg. It can be done fast and on the cheap. So we have 5 inexpensive and fast tips to make the space your own. You can do it these days.
You're totally right. What's our first tip, Tamara?
Well, one, I think, super easy way to make it your own is with smell. So
Ooh.
you can, yes. And you can put your favorite scent in your space that relaxes you or just takes you to a good memory or that makes you feel calm. And that can be a really inexpensive diffuser or air freshener, candle, incense, whatever floats your fancy.
Whatever floats your boat.
Yeah.
What's your favorite smell? I'm curious now.
Well, I've tried a bunch of like the Bath and Body Works air fresheners and all that. They're usually too strong and perfumey or fruity or cinnamony or vanilla-y. I don't like any of that. My personal favorite is something that smells clean and fresh, like linen or the ocean. Those are my favorite. Yeah. And I've not found one at Bath and Body Works that does that, but I have at other places. Mm-hmm. And I found a diffuser that just gives the perfect amount. Like it's because I don't like it too strong.
Yeah.
So I use that now, and I have my little diffuser, and then my favorite like light scent, and that makes me feel happy.
Well, you got to feel happy. Yeah. You know what's funny? Whenever people have those candles that are like cinnamon or vanilla or whatever, I get hungry. I hate those things. I literally will start just salivating and start thinking about cinnamon rolls or food.
I know they even name some of them.
I can't have. Yeah, I don't want any of those. So please don't ever. I know. No sugar cookie candle. No, thank you. I don't need to smell food. That is not relaxing at all. Well, and I also. Well, I was going through all the ones I hate. I also hate the ones that are really strong floral because I actually get migraines from those.
Yeah.
Really strong scents like that, or even the diffusers. So I may not be coming to your space, Tamara.
No, good. Oh, no. I mean,
that's your private space. I won't come. I won't come in.
It's a way to mark it as yours. Like that's to mark your territory, like even the smell is you.
It's your smell. Well, in my new office, my Dirty Lazy Keto little section of the world, mm-hmm. I am kind of like you. I just want things clean. I want the absence of smells. I don't want my sons, or I shouldn't say my sons. He'll get embarrassed. But I don't want stinky shoe smells or the kitchen trash or even the dog. You know what I mean? Like I just don't want any of those smells in my space. I want it to just be.
Yeah. And we actually don't allow the dog in our master bedroom just to have a room that doesn't smell like dog.
Right. Because they, we love our doggies, but they do have a little bit of stinkiness.
They are stinky.
We love them.
So the point is find a scent, and that's you, whether mm-hmm. it be no scent or just the absence of, stinky kids and dogs, but find one that's you and work hard to make it. And that's the fun. I think that's half the fun is experimenting with different smells and trying them out. It's harder now because we're in lockdown, but normally you could go to the stores and try a bunch of scents and it's fun.
Yeah. And it's fast and cheap. Like you said, these are our fast and cheap tips.
Yeah.
We're fast and easy today.
That's right.
Well, no one wants like a giant, DIY project that takes forever. No. If you can turn your, space into yours and customize it really fast with just a few dollars, that makes it a little bit more fun.
Just light a candle.
There you go. Well, number 2, our suggestion for our listeners to make the space their own. The second one is to be inspired, to surround yourself with the inspiration that you need to get your work done or for relaxing, whatever it is that you're trying to accomplish. If you need confidence, you could put awards on the wall or medals. If you wanted to relax, like I was saying earlier, you could put pictures of nature, or maybe you wanted to be creative in your space. You could also put up artwork or sculpture. What's your inspiration? Are you doing any of these?
Yeah. And I think I've mentioned this on previous podcasts, so sorry if I'm repeating myself, but I've just started putting paintings in my spaces, my home office, and actually my work office. I wasn't very brave about it because I was self-conscious about my own paintings, but I put a couple up and I got comfortable with it. And then, so now I'm gone a little crazy. So I've got, a painting I did of Mamba, my dog. And I did an ocean scene, and now I've been working on some birds. So I've got my inspirational painting but then there's some nature in there too that makes me feel relaxed. So that's what inspires me. Like it makes me feel, I don't know, just good, like, and creative and artful.
Well, I've seen your artwork of the cat specifically at your work office, and it's fabulous.
I love that.
So I can't wait to see more.
Yeah, I went through a cat phase.
We're done with that. Now you're on to the birds.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. I like your birds.
Yeah. Well, and then they're just peaceful and sweet. I don't know. They can fly away.
That's what you need right now in your personal space. Then that's
exactly.
And
it can change, right? What inspires you today, if something else inspires you more later, change.
Right. Well, it's interesting you say that because my previous office that was downstairs with all 50 family members that I hated, we had all of our running medals in there because I tend to go overboard with everything in my life. And I used to be really obsessed with the running and the races. So we have all of our medals on the wall and they go all the way around the room, which is great. And it used to inspire me. But now I've transitioned my new obsession to more dirty, lazy keto and writing books and doing podcasts and live, Facebook events. So now I need to change my inspiration, like what you were saying. So instead of cats, you went to birds. And so for me, I've moved away from the medals. And now the new office, I'm hanging up pictures, magazine covers, books. Like I finally have a really appropriate place to celebrate them all, where I don't feel guilty. I don't have to hang pictures of my kids. You know what I mean? It can be just my space for me to be excited about work.
Yeah, I love that. And I saw it on your launch party.
Did you? You saw one wall.
Yeah, one wall.
The rest was like piles of boxes and big messes.
But it's getting there.
It's coming along.
Yeah, and what's great is you're right. You have like these cool pictures of you in dirty, lazy keto moments, like with Al Roker. And then I forget what the other ones were, and copies of your books. It was very cute, very sweet and colorful and kind of, I don't know, it was you.
Thank you. You know what I just ordered, Tamara, which I'm not like a sponsor, but I would love to be if they would like to call me. Call me Mix It Tiles. But I heard about Mix It Tiles from the Today Show. Back when I was on the Today Show, I kept looking at their website and I saw that they were on there and they are beautiful. They're like $11 each and you can do it from your phone. And mine just came in the mail. They are so cool. They're like little 12-inch squares and you peel the back and stick it on the wall.
How easy.
It's like instant happiness. Well, I have them in the box. I haven't hung them up yet, but I bought 41 of them.
Oh, wow.
I couldn't stop.
Okay, that's
just kept clicking.
But I didn't realize they were so cheap. $11.
Yes, I think it was like $10 or $11, but I completely went overboard. I just want to admit it.
And you could collage. Like I could even do artwork that way. Like
you totally could.
Of inspiring art and you can make it into a fun. Do they have like little suggestions for ways to hang them in cute little patterns?
I was looking at that last night on Pinterest, and they do. Yeah. So I'm going to work on that next. That'll be phase 2.
And to me, like all this stuff, whether it be the smell or the inspiration, just working on it gives you a cool feeling. Like
it's so fun.
This nice thing for myself. I'm in love with this.
I am too. It's probably getting out of control though.
I know. I was like ordering.
I need to slow my roll on this customizing of the space. I've been told I have to stop. Anyway,
okay.
We have to keep it cheap and easy, people.
Yeah. Well, our next one can be pretty cheap, which is the use of sound.
Oh, I like that one. That sounds free.
Yeah. It can be, right? You could a radio with your favorite music, or if you're maybe old school and you have a record player, again, something you probably already had.
I think the radio is old school, by the way.
Yes, it is.
I don't have a radio in my house. Do you?
No. And in fact, I listen to the radio in the car and my kids harass me and they're like,
Mom, who does that?
Yeah, you play your Spotify or whatever. And I was like, oh.
Hey, we're trying to be hip. It's a struggle.
But radio's free. But
radio is free. Spotify you can do free with commercials, or Pandora.
Which I do because I'm cheap.
Yep.
So yeah, and just stream in, whatever you need, right? So if you need to be productive, there's more high energy music, or if you're relaxing, you can play beach sounds, or if you just need silence, that's part of the use of sound. Like I think for your wall, aren't you putting some stuff up to actually keep it more quiet so you can record in there?
Yeah. You know what, Tamara, I just feel a little bit embarrassed still with my family hearing me blabber on, on the podcast. And plus, I don't want to hear my son screaming on his video games. Sorry, I'm throwing him under the bus. That's twice today. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't want all that noise. So I ordered these peel and stick soundproof squares to put on the wall. And I'm hoping that it works because it might, keep it a little quieter in here.
Yeah. And peel and stick.
And stick. I'm all about easy and fast.
Yeah.
and you can even do like egg carton, those like foamy things.
Yeah.
Those are very inexpensive too. It's kind of like packing material.
Okay. So number 4, Stephanie, is what we're calling comfort. You want to make sure that you are super comfortable because you deserve to feel good. So whether it be comfy pillows or throws or fluffy chairs and slippers, whatever makes you feel surrounded in comfort, we want your space to have that.
Well, Tamara, you're going to laugh at me.
Okay.
My goal was to make my space as uncomfortable as possible.
Oh no.
I don't want people in my family coming in my space. So I made a horrible chair that's hard and evil to sit on. I don't want them coming in here. I'm not making guest chairs. I even bought these little cubes to sit on that have no back. So you can only sit for like a minute until you're irritated and you have to leave. I don't know. Okay. Not funny.
Yes. And then the minute they leave, you can pull out your pillows.
Right. Those are in lockdown.
Yeah. But also, if it's a workspace, you may not want it too comfy.
Well, it depends on what your goal is, right? I mean, we all have different goals. Like, what if you're setting up a home gym? Then obviously comfort to you might mean like an exercise pad so that you could do your yoga or your sit-ups or whatever.
Or a fan.
Yeah. So comfort means different things according to the goal that you're trying to accomplish.
Exactly. Well, I know for me, when I do a lot of grading or writing reports or, on the computer, answering emails, I really like a comfy, fluffy chair with a ottoman. And so right now, my home office, well, my son's back home. But when he goes back off to college in the fall, hopefully, I keep a bed there for him. But when he's gone, the bed's going. And that's what I'm going to put in, a fluffy chair with an ottoman where I can just sit. Cause I have back issues. So if I sit too long in like a chair, like an office chair, I get back pain. So I'm going to work on getting something that puts me in a little bit less pressure on my back and that maybe even reclines.
Aww.
I know. And I can't wait. For now, I have to just make do with what I have, but that's in the future for me.
Well, that sounds wonderful. Sounds like you're taking that comfort seriously.
I am.
You should. It's your space.
And that's the whole thing. Like, it's just, what you're saying, just talking about this kind of stuff, it allows you to say, hey, I deserve it.
Yeah. And it's your space. How are you going to be, accomplishing your goal if it's not set up the right way?
Yeah.
That's the whole key. And sometimes, like, I've never thought about these things, to be honest. Like, when I was in my other office with my whole family, it was a disaster and it was very uncomfortable. My husband had a space heater. He's always cold. So he had that thing blasting. So I was sweating. It was like the temperature wasn't comfortable to me. My chair, didn't have good back support. That there was just a lot of things going on down there that made it unproductive for me. So it's important to take that comfort level seriously.
Yeah, because you matter.
I do.
Your comfort matters.
I matter.
Okay. And so does your personality, because that's our last.
That's the most important. Because who wants to have a space that doesn't reflect you and what you're trying to accomplish, right?
Exactly. And that, again, it just tells the rest of the world, this is not anybody else's space but yours. And you're unique.
Well, I want to tell you what I'm trying to accomplish, Tamara.
Okay.
All
right.
I had given up on having a clean, organized space. You had mentioned in the introduction, when you first got married and had little ones, like your whole life, you just gave it all up. Even your body, it's like you had no space for yourself. And I felt that way too. In my whole house, I feel like everything is damaged. I know that sounds horrible, but everything is ruined from the kids or the dog. Even my dining room table that I love that my dad made me, my dog has chewed the bottom of it. And it just makes me sad. Like there's nothing in the house that hasn't been carved on, spit on, stained, ripped, chewed on. I'm being totally serious.
I
you know what I mean? There's nothing nice in my house. It's all jacked up. Like, so I'm determined. I'm just being honest here. Bless my little dog who I love. But I really want my new space here to I want to protect it and have it be a safe place with my personality. I want it to be clean. I might have gone overboard with my story there, but I want it to be mine. Yeah.
Yeah. And you can see it coming through as you're creating your office, like the colors bright. Did you do like a bright blue on the walls?
It was bright blue and I did a soft gray because I want my pictures and stuff to pop.
Ah, there we go. Mm-hmm. And your pictures are very poppy.
Very colorful and cheerful. And,
yeah.
That's
and it looks like you. And it is. It's all new, nice stuff.
Nothing chewed on by the dog. Like literally, I have tables where my children, when they were little, clawed with scissors their names into the desk. Like, really? And markers and paint on the chairs. It's like, oh my gosh.
Oh yeah, I have a funny story about that one. My dog was littler and was chewing on the table ends like yours. So I read where if you put hot sauce on the table lid,
totally did it.
But now I have red hot sauce stains
on the floor or on your furniture?
On the table legs.
Oh, well, it turns out my dog likes the hot sauce. So she'd be walking around like licking the table. Yeah, she'd be like licking it, just laying there. I'm like, what are you doing? She's licking the hot sauce off my table.
Of course she did.
Yes. I know.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Well, I know when I was setting up my home office, one of the issues I also had was I don't think I had bought a new nice piece of furniture and forever because we were on a student budget when we were in college and and then later we were like at IKEA with crap that broke after 2 years.
Everything I own is from the flea market, the thrift store, seriously. A garage sale, or it's a hand-me-down, right? Everything I own is from someone else.
Yeah. And so that was the first time I bought a brand new desk. I mean, brand spanking new. And it was what was made it my personality is that my husband and I actually have different tastes in furniture and decorating. He's a little bit more traditional and I'm more modern. Like I like the sleek glass furniture and metal. He hates that. So all of our furniture is really some kind of in between. It's neither traditional or modern, right? So it's kind of like nobody's happy. But in that space, I bought a glass desk, a little modern lamp, and just made it my taste, like my taste of furniture. And I'm telling you, I love that. That makes me want to go in there and be in there all the time because it's like, oh, I don't have to compromise with anyone.
Right.
I get to have it totally my furniture taste, and that was fabulous.
I hope our listeners get where we're going with this because we're not really just talking about like decorating. I feel like, I don't know about you, it sounds like you're on the same page, but when I started setting up my space the way I wanted it with the personality and the comfort level, the sound, the colors, I feel good in there and I feel confident. And now I'm taking my goals to the next level. Like I actually feel productive. I feel enthusiastic about, accomplishing what I'm trying to set out to do. Right? Do you feel that way?
I totally feel that way. And it reminds me that I don't exist just for everybody else. I get to have my own space and exist for myself and celebrate myself. And that's
huge.
Fabulous. And to have a room that you walk in that reminds you of that every time. This is your space. You deserve it. Look how fabulous you are.
Right. It's true. I mean, you can finally grow as a person. You can take, yourself to the next level because that's what this is all about. I know we talk about weight loss quite often and food because, that's what we like to eat. But really, you're never going to get yourself to where you want to be in life if you don't have a space to do it in. If you're always compromising and always giving yourself away to other people, your priorities will never be yourself. And that's everything.
Yeah. And this is a great place to start to get yourself back.
Get yourself back one little tiny room at a time.
Oh, that's great. And listeners, you always have such great ideas. Can you let us know how you went about customizing your new space? Let us know by emailing Stephanie@dirtylazyketo.com or via Facebook or Instagram at Dirty Lazy Keto. Before we get to our personal favorite hacks, let's take one last quick break.
Well, today's episode is brought to you by my new book, Dirty Lazy Keto, Get Started Losing Weight While Breaking the Rules. One of the key themes that I talk about in this book is learning to prioritize your needs. For me, this lesson was essential for learning how to lose and maintain 140 pounds of weight loss. Dirty Lazy Keto, Get Started Losing Weight is available everywhere online or inside actual stores like Walmart, Barnes & Noble, BJ's, or Meijer's.
Awesome. Okay, Stephanie, hacks. What are our hacks for this episode?
Well, this might not seem obvious to a lot of people, but maybe not to me. Shopping online, Tamara, it has been so helpful for me to customize my space. Because I mentioned earlier in the episode, my whole life, all I've done is pick things up at thrift stores or, the flea market or, family members giving me things. And then my space is just a hodgepodge of, stuff I really didn't want that was maybe impulsive or on sale. So shopping online has helped me just make more careful, deliberate decisions. I can read the reviews, compare the prices, and really just kind of compare those colors and styles. So I feel like I'm doing a much better job customizing my space now that I'm looking at things online, not so impulsive in person.
That's great.
I feel like a grown-up.
And you know what? Since we're on lockdown, it's a good time.
It's a
perfect thing.
Right?
Yeah. Yes. Well, my hack, Stephanie, is to help you anticipate what's going to come when you start. And what's going to come when you start this is guilt, or at least it did for me. Because it's like, oh, wait, you're spending all this money on yourself and you're taking this space that now the kids and the dog can't use it, and you start to feel guilty. So my hack is to be ready for it. It's coming. And it's okay to feel guilt, but don't let it stop you. Because as women, we think it's selfish to claim a space or to buy nice things for ourselves. But I'm telling you, it's not selfish. We work hard, whether we're at stay-at-home moms or we're working in the labor force or a lot of us doing both. We have a right to take up space, to feel good in our space, to have downtime or a productive space, because in the end, it's going to make us better workers and wives and mothers. So we need this. So when the guilt comes, have your mantra ready, whatever that is, so that you can tell yourself that you have a right to a beautiful space of your own.
I'm going to put you on you should be a professor. We need to put you on stage. You need to shape young minds. You must be a sociologist. I love it.
Yes.
I'm teasing you. That was very well put, so I appreciate that. But it's interesting, Tamara, because we have such a variety of ages of our listeners. And I think our message, though, reaches out to all of them. It's not just the young ladies, not just the older ladies. I think all of our listeners can really identify with what you're saying. So cheers to that. Because the big message is here, friends, no matter what goal you are trying to achieve, you need that empowering space to get to work. With a little forethought and creativity, you can transform your environment into a safe place that helps you to achieve success. And before I wrap up, I would like to share one of the most loveliest emails, Tamara, that we have gotten from a fan.
I love to hear these.
Do you mind? Can I read it?
No, please.
All right. Marie, let's see. This is from, I have to put my glasses on.
Mare, I think.
Thank you.
Mary
Shannon.
But she signs off Mare.
Well, Mare, this one's for you. I love her. She's so cute. She calls me Dear Stephanie, Beatrice, Louise, Janine, McGillicuddy, Laska. She says, that cracked me up. I read that out loud to my kids and they loved it. She said, sorry for taking terrible liberties with your name. I knew my mom had things to say when she not only used my full name, but added names that were only partially even in our family. Isn't that cute?
I want to do that.
I know, right? I'm going to call you like Tamara, but beta. That's how you know you're in trouble. But anyway, she just said she just listened to one of our podcasts. She thought it was so great. She said she was going to listen to it a few times so that she wouldn't cry so much. Bless her heart. She said, Tamara and Stephanie, I love you, both of you. I sit here in isolation just so long. I long for my girlfriends. I wish we could get together. She talks about how her and her girlfriends met on the night shift. They were baking pie for a restaurant, and that after they were done with work, they would go out for pie. And she just misses, I know, I love that. Isn't that something? It sounds like me and you. But she talks about her friend Donna and how they just love to eat the pie. She says she loves our pod friendship, castship, and it's been a great and wonderful thing. So Merritt, thanks for that kind email. And listeners, feel free to write in. We love reading your reviews on Apple Podcasts. They really help. Tamara, did you get my text the other day about the top 100 podcasts in America?
I did. I was blown, mind blown.
Do you happen to remember what it was?
We're in the top 100. Tell me. I'll get it wrong.
It was like, I don't even know what it was. I think it was like 87. But we're in the top 100 podcasts for self-improvement in the United States.
Holy crap.
And that's just craziness.
That is insane.
People want to hear what Tamara has to say. Who knew?
There's a lot of crazy people out there.
I can't believe it. So listeners, thank you for listening every week and downloading and telling your friends about. And Mayor, thank you for writing in. We are so thankful when you write a review on Apple Podcasts. Actually, I think that's really helps with the rankings. And then when you are ranked on Apple Podcasts, Apple shares your podcast and puts it in a top 10 list and lets listeners know about it. So we do this for free. We don't have any, sponsors or advertisers, but we want to get the word out. We're just here to spread the word. So if you can tell your friends and family to listen and to leave a review, we'd sure appreciate it.
Thank you, Stephanie, Beatrice, Louise, Janine, McGillicuddy, Laska.
Thank you,
Bye-bye.
Tamara. I can't do it that fast.
I was reading from Mary's
email. Dang it.
I cheated.
Oh, I'm going to try then. Well, thank you, Tamara, Marie, Shannon, Boreas, Louise, Janine, McGillicuddy, Sneezik.
You're welcome.
Talk to you later.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening to another episode of the Dirty Lazy Girl podcast.
And don't forget to visit dirtylazyketo.com, where you can join the conversation and gain access to all kinds of free content to help you on your dirty lazy journey.
If you enjoyed today's podcast, consider supporting us by subscribing, rating, and reviewing us on Apple Podcasts.
Be sure to stay tuned for our next Dirty Lazy Girl podcast, where we give you even more tips and support.
You don't have to be perfect to be successful.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.